Hey guys, it's JJ. Welcome back to the North Carolina Dynasty, where we just finished Season 4, the regular season. We went 9-1 in conference, winning the Northern Division. And in the South, yet again, Clemson manages to win out over South Carolina because in the last game of the season, while South Carolina was undefeated, Clemson won their last game against South Carolina. So now we're going to face them for the ACC championship game. We have played Clemson before this season, and that game was not a good look for us. And to be honest, the rest of the season also showed a lot more weaknesses than we were used to from the last couple of years. But we're going to give it our all. This has been our nightmare opponent. We have not been able to win much against Clemson. They have just been flat out the better team. But last season they had to lose a few key starters to the draft and just graduation. And we're going to face Christopher Vezina yet again. He has 94 throw power. He's got a solid but not great set of accuracies. Very solid underneath and over the middle of the field. Not deep down the field. 85 speed though, so kid can run. And he's going to do that, definitely. The running back on this team is Jackson Foster, 5'10", 206 out of Highland Springs, Virginia. Foster, former 4-star recruit, not a good route runner at all. His hands, on the other hand, are pretty solid. His pass catching ability is there definitely. He's a very solid, elusive back, while his power ratings are horrible, 88 speed. So not a great running back, but a solid one, I guess. Number one receiver on this team, TJ Moore. We faced him a bunch. Former 5-star deep threat receiver, 6'3", 190. TJ Moore has very solid route runnings across the board. He's great hands. Everything's at least 90 or higher. Very good elusiveness and very good top end speed as well for somebody that's 6'3". And then the number 2 is Bryant Wesco. Where's number 12? Moore wears number 16. So those two you have to look out for. 6'2" receiver Bryant Wesco is a very good route runner. His hands are not at all there, but he gets open. So if he's open, he's gonna catch it probably at least. Very good elusiveness and 92 speed on him as well. And then the third guy is Ronan Hannafin, 6'3", 210 out of Burlington, Massachusetts. Hannafin is a former 3-star deep threat archetype receiver, but his route runnings indicate he's more of a slot guy. Hannafin has very solid hands, decent route runnings, and all the speed he needs, 99 and 98 acceleration with that. So gotta be scared of this receiving unit, definitely. 16, 12, and 15 are the numbers for them. Now, they do have a very solid offensive line yet again, but they are going to be missing their left guard. Now, they do have 88 overall left tackles. They've got an 81 overall center. They've got an 86 overall right guard who is also injured. So they're going to be missing both their starting guards. So we might have an opening there. And then at right tackle, they've got a bunch more players in the 80s for overall. They're definitely going to mix up their offensive line. It's going to be a bunch of 80 overall starters again, 80 plus at least. Gonna be a good offensive line for Christopher Vezina and his offense. Darian Mayo is the top edge rusher, and he's a great pass rusher. 82 finesse moves, 88 power moves. Strength is a little bit low, but he's an edge rusher, so we do not expect 90 strength here, but solid run stopping ability as well, and a good athlete. In the middle of this defense, it's Stephylan Green, 6'4", 280, so a very light defensive tackle. However, his strength is still the run stopping and the strength. 89 strength and 83 block shedding. It's not quite as good as a pass rusher, but 82 finesse moves still is a solid mark. He's a solid athlete with good run stopping ability. In the middle of this defense, it's CJ Kuba Taylor, former 3-star recruit, 6'3", 220 out of Maryland. Kuba Taylor is very solid in coverage, 81 zone, 75 man. It's very decent. He's got lots of power, he can blitz, and he's a decent run stopper. 82 block shedding is really good for a linebacker. It would have been good for an edge rusher, but for a linebacker, it's actually pretty almost elite, I'd say. Now they also have D. Creighton, 6'2", 225. Creighton is an even better coverage player. Creighton has 85 zone coverage. His his IQ and power are definitely solid. He can blitz. He's a decent run stopper. Speed is not quite there. Top corner on this team is my son Kelly, 5'10", 180 out of Central South Carolina. Kelly is an almost elite man coverage corner, but his press is not quite there. 73 zone coverage, not great. And apart from that, he has great athleticism. He's going to be able to keep up with most of our receivers. Corian Gibson is the number 2 corner, 6'1", 180 out of Fort Worth, Texas. So out of the DFW area. Zone coverage is elite on him. The man coverage is awful. So he's a pure zone cover corner with very good recovery speed, 96 speed, 96 acceleration. And then on the back end, they've got Joe Wilkinson, 6'1", 180 out of Rome, Georgia. Wilkinson is a former 3-star run support safety, and his run support is good. I think he's good enough at run support. He could play linebacker if he needed to. Now, the pass coverage, I mean, 77 zone isn't horrible, but it's also not great. So you might want him to be more of a box safety. 6'2", 190 on Ricardo Jones, a former 4-star out of Warner Robins, Georgia. Ricardo Jones is an elite coverage guy. His run support is pretty weak overall. He does have a little bit, he's got some pretty good hit power. Man coverage and press not really there. 90 speed. So overall, a solid safety duo, just the wrong way around. Now, as I've been saying before, we have not had a great track record against Clemson. We have lost to them the last 3 games. This is gonna be coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina, Bank of America Stadium. Now, let's see in this ACC battle, number 1 against number 2 ranked teams in the country, who is going to have the upper hand? Is it going to be Christopher Vezina and his elite set of receivers, or is it maybe going to be the Tar Heels with also a pretty elite set of receivers? Clemson, ranked number 1, so they are the higher ranked team. Both teams went 11-1 on the season, 9-1 in conference. North Carolina is, however, ranked number 2. I'm guessing that's probably because Clemson has more high leverage wins with wins against NC State and against South Carolina, while we lost to Clemson and we didn't play South Carolina at all. 2nd and 10 to start off this game, and Malik has absolutely nowhere to go, so 2 rushes on the day already for him, and he's at -1 yard. 3rd and 11, and Costanzo checks in, but obviously we're going to throw this one. On the corner route, this one's going to be dropped. That's Jordan Shipp, and Merdinger cannot get a first down on his first drive here. So we're going to watch TJ Moore here get obliterated by Caleb Lavalley for a TFL. 2nd and 11, Vezina has Foster in the backfield. He's going to motion Hannafin across the formation, and somebody went terribly wrong, but Clemson is going to keep possession at least. 3rd and 12, and Vezina has his man wide open. That's a first down catch for, I actually don't know who number 18 is, but let's move on. Jackson Foster, nowhere to go for him, as Ashton Woods is in the backfield here. 2nd and 12 from the midfield logo, and Vezina is going to be dropped. It's Connor Stockey in the backfield. Dude has been crushing it this season, and he shows off one more time, although you gotta say also Vezina dropped right into his direction there. 3rd and 20, they're gonna try to set up the slip screen, and this is not Jackson Foster, but it is also not gonna be a first down. So ball goes back to UNC. Punt was pretty horrible, so good field position for UNC, and the catch is made by Marquise Brooks on the slant. That's going to make this 3rd down a lot easier. Costanzo's the back, trips to the left, handed off, and Costanzo runs over a defender, and it's fumbled away. Clemson takes over at midfield, so they're right back to where they just ended their last drive. And Costanzo with a heartbreaking fumble here in the first quarter in the ACC championship game. 1st and 10, and TJ Moore has got a 6-yard connection, and at least this time he made positive yardage out of it. 3rd and 3 now for Vezina. And he's going to hand it off to Foster, and he's going to run over Ashton Woods. What a play by Foster. I mean, that's actually pretty incredible since he has like 67 trucking or something. So, pretty crazy to run over a 95 overall linebacker, but okay. 1st and 10, and TJ Moore is wide open in the flats there for the RPO. And they're going to move the chains again. Actually, no, just 6 yards, but 2nd and 4 coming up right now. As Vezina is going to have trips to the right and more isolated left, is going to dump it to his running back, and Foster. He's got about 12 yards on the play on the easy dump off. 1st and 10, Foster's the back, double twin set, and Vezina is going to go down. What a play. That's Starling in the backfield. And yet another sack on this Clemson offensive line. This time it's the interior giving up the pressure. 3rd and 13 after they get a few yards back. But still a tough one. Vezina gonna have to scramble here, and that's not gonna be even close to a 1st down. Woods right there, and he's gonna slide safely to make this a 29-yard field goal try, and it's good. Clemson takes the lead, so damage control has been done after that horrible fumble by Costanzo. Now we're gonna get this offense back on track, hopefully, and we're gonna start off with a very good one as Brian Malik's got 12 yards on the outside. Nice running by the sophomore running back, and he's gonna get the next carry as well, and that's only a couple of yards, but at least it's not a loss like his first 2 carries. 3rd and 3, and they're gonna put a tight end in motion. That's Alec Reddy. 3rd and 3, and we're gonna run it up the middle, and Costanzo's got the 1st down. He tried to run over the linebacker, and at least he got the 1st down out of it. 2nd and 10, trips to the right, Costanzo's the back, and this is a draw play perfectly called at the right time. That's a 10-yard run for Kyle Costanzo. Really good play. 2nd and 9, and Costanzo stays in the game, and we're gonna set up the slip screen to him, and he's gonna cut it back. Nice blocking. We get about 7 yards out of the play to make this 3rd down. Now in opposite territory, a lot easier trips to the right, and Malik's gonna run it up the gut, inside zone, 1st down, and we're gonna move the chains here toward the edge of field goal range. 1st and 10, Costanzo checks back in, and he's gonna run it up the gut, inside zone. It's working out perfectly, 13 yards for Kyle Costanzo. 1st and 10 from the 28, 2 backs in the backfield, motion for Costanzo, and he's gonna get the ball thrown to him in the flats there, and 1st down, and some more. He's still on his feet, ran over a corner, and then he continued onwards to get extra 10 yards. 1st and goal now from the 7. Merdinger in the end zone. That's a touchdown, and Marquise Brooks, he's got the score, and UNC leads this game for the first time today, 7-3. And we're 5 minutes away from halftime. They wasted a lot of time on this possession. So let's see if Clemson can answer. North Carolina with the 7-3 lead. Marquise Brooks with a beautiful catch in the end zone. Merdinger just dropping a dime there, as Brooks, he did have two steps of separation, and that's what got him the touchdown in the end. 1st and 10, Vezina throws it on the hitch, and Moore's got the 1st down, and tackled by Steven Slates there in the flats. 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2, Vezina is going to hand it off to his number 2 back, and he's not going to get anywhere, as we have Jaden Peterson for the loss in the backfield there. 3rd and 4, trips to the right, more isolated left, and that's going to be a 1st down, as they're going to throw it to yet another receiver that I don't know about. 2nd and 7, and they're going to hand it off to Jackson Foster, but there is nowhere to go, as we have Stocky and Starling in the backfield. 3rd and 8, this is going to be a tough one for Vezina. He's got some time, the pressure is not coming in yet, and finally the pressure comes in just as he wanted to throw it. So this one is going to be a punt for Clemson, and 7-3, 2.5 minutes on the clock. We're just going to run it with Costanzo, and even though he broke 2 tackles on the run, he still loses yardage. Costanzo with a delayed give, and that's going to be yet another loss. This run defense from Clemson has shown to be very stout. 3rd and 12 at the 2-minute warning. Merdinger has good protection, and he's just going to let it go. 1-on-1 down the field. It's broken up for Buckstoner, who has not made an impact in this game altogether. So the ball goes back to Clemson, and they have now pretty solid field position from the 41 after a decent return. And over the middle on the angle route. That's Jackson Foster, tackled by Ashton Woods. 2nd and 1. Vizina's got trips to the right, more isolated left, and throws it to the flats for not much at all, probably a yard or 2. 3rd and 6. Vizina has got an empty backfield, trips to the right, twins to the left, and he's gonna scramble here, and this has got to be a, oh my god, this has got to be a 4th down, and instead he runs for about 20 yards. Jeez, it's a quarterback, how can he not tackle him, man? 2 men in the area, and he just gets the 1st down anyway. He's a solid runner, and he's gonna get a nice 7-yard connection here on the hitch route. 2nd and 2 coming up. Isolated right, that's Wesco, and down goes Vizina. That's gonna be a sack, and Anthony Dingle's in the backfield there. 3rd and 10. Let's see, Vizina with a tough one this time, and he's gonna throw it. That's gonna be intercepted. Jaden Patterson stands right there, takes it away. This one was intended for TJ Moore, but underthrown by a mile, as Moore actually had won the route, but Vizina with a horrible throw, and Jaden Patterson takes it away. It's 40 seconds on the clock. Let's see if North Carolina can do something with that. But if not, if anything, you need to at least run out the clock and keep this lead into halftime. Can't give him the ball back, man. Yeah, I mean, Cassidy Breida did not have great coverage there, but Jaden Patterson was a deep safety on the play. So let's see, Merdinger, he's just gonna throw a one-on-one down the sideline, and he throws it out of bounds for Marquise Brooks, so that one's not gonna work out. And we're just gonna run it here on 3rd and 10, and we do get the 1st down. So 26 seconds, 3 more shots in the end zone. Let's try. Kyle Costanza with a 12-yard run on 3rd and 10, and we're gonna keep running it apparently. 1st and 10 turns into a 5-yard gain. Timeout taken by UNC. Let's try to have a couple more shots here. 3rd and 5, and Merdinger is gonna hand it off again, and nowhere to go for Malik. So Clemson uses a timeout, but at least we did get some yardage out of this one. We're going to punt it away, and they do not have much time remaining. So this half is over. We're leading at halftime 7-3, and if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, as we have a real chance at winning this game. We can't screw it up this time. Trips to the left. Isolated receiver right was Wesco, and instead they're going to hand it off 9 yards. On the play, that's Roche. 1st and 10. Roche stays in to protect, and over the middle, Ashton Woods. You need to intercept that one. Thrown right at him, and the slant crossing behind him. Man, that needs to be a pick. And now it's 3rd and 10, and at least Jackson Foster doesn't get the 1st down. So we get the ball back after the punt, but we should have had better field position with that interception. Jordan Ship on the catch, 7 yards on the in route, and we're gonna have an easier 3rd down here. 3rd and 3, Merdinger. Protection holds up until now, and this one's gonna be thrown shy of the sticks. Threw it out a little bit too far in front of Julian Randolph, so punt right back to Clemson, and an 8-yard gain. TJ Moore with the catch. Vizina not even crossing 100 yards passing today, and Roche's got the 1st down, 4 yards, as he breaks a tackle along the way. 1st and 10, and Roche stays in. He's gonna go on a route now, as we have a wide open Bryant Wesco. That's not a good look for our secondary. Our secondary is a lot of freshmen and sophomores, so no surprise there, as we have great pass rush showing up suddenly. That 96, that's Zach Moma, is it not? We've got 3rd and 20 coming up for Clemson now, and this should be pretty impossible. 3rd and long there. Oh, I'm sorry, 90 is Zach Moma. 96 is actually Dylan Jerry, who's a backup, but he got into the game because Moma has been in and out today with a couple injuries. So Dylan Jerry shows up in the backfield. Now Moma is back in, and we get to him again. This time it's Anthony Dingle in the backfield. And North Carolina showing up with the pressure. Clemson's going to have to punt it away, 4th and 27, after Anthony Dingle just collapsed the pocket in absolutely no time. But 94, that's, what's his name? Forgot his name, 94. both of them, great pass rush on that play. So we're going to have a one-on-one shot down the field. And Brooks is behind the defense and Merdinger overthrew him. What are you talking about, man? This has got to be a touchdown, man. Marquise Brooks, he was 2 yards, 3 yards behind the defense. You got to have the touchdown right there. And instead, we have a 3-and-out. We punt it away. Merdinger, what are you doing? This is a pretty horrible season for him. You got to admit it. Now, let's see if Clemson can do something with the ball after that punt, as we are creeping toward the fourth quarter here, and they have a catch made in the flats. That's tight end Nate Wilder. 3rd and 5, and Roche is the back, but they're going to throw it, and Vizina is going to dump it to Roche. That's a first down, 6 yards. Just about got it there, Devin Roche. 1st and 10, Jackson Foster checks back in, and he is not going to get the ball. It was a read option, and oh my. Vizina so definitely took the wrong call here, as Moma and Stocky just absolutely collapse on him. And Vizina, play action shot, Moma's in the backfield again. Fifth sack on the day for this UNC defense, and it's been pressure from every side. 5 sacks, everybody's gotten involved. 3 defensive tackles and 2 edge rushers. All of them have participation on the sack production, but this pass rush by Moma was absolutely perfect. Nothing Vizina could have done about that one. And now we have a 3rd and 20 here for Vizina as they go empty backfield, and he's got some time to throw and decides to run, but not even close. Gets about 6 yards, but Cassidy Burita is there to stop him. And that's yet another punt. The game is still at 7-3, and we're going to have a run by Kyle Costanzo, 4-yard. Not too far, but it is a decent run. At least you don't fall behind the sticks there. So we're going to go on to the fourth quarter now, as so far this has been a very equal game. The only difference is we got the touchdown and they only got a field goal out of it. 2nd and 6, and Merdinger is going to have a receiver screen dialed up as Buckstoner gets about 4 yards on the play. I think that's his first catch today. 3rd and 2, Brian Malik checks into the game, and he's going to run it up the middle and get the first down, and that's all we needed him to do. 5-yard play, first down, and now we're going to run clock. 8 minutes left in the game, and Merdinger is going to hand it off to Costanzo, and he's got some running room up the middle. He gets about 7 yards, and now this is a 3rd and 2, 2 tight ends on the field. Allegretti in motion, Costanzo is the back, and of course we're gonna run it up the middle. Costanzo, 4th and inches. Ooh, we gotta punt it away, not risking a 4th down call in our own territory, but this is a bad play for the Clemson Tigers as Stocky tracks down the run and forces a loss. 2nd and 11, and Foster nowhere to go as Riggins and Woods knock him down for yet another loss. 3rd and 12, empty backfield, trip to the left, twins to the right, and Vizina has got some time, and in the defensive backfield, it's an interception, and Jaden Patterson is going to return its 2nd pick on the day. Oh my, that was not aggressive enough by TJ Moore. He was open, but he needed to come back for the ball a little bit more. You gotta check on the contested catches there. Gotta at least knock it loose or something, but he didn't see that Jaden Patterson had the better angle at the ball. And now Vizina has thrown 2 picks on the day, and it should have been 3 with that Ashton Woods drop pick earlier. So now we've got great field position as Patterson was able to return it for a few yards, and absolutely nowhere to go for our running game today. It's been awful. 2nd and 11, and we're going to set up the slip screen. If we can't get the run going, let's get the pass going, I guess, as Costanzo runs over one corner, but still going to be tackled shy of the sticks. 3rd and 1, Malik checks in. And this is obviously going to be a run, and there is some running room for Malik this time. 12 yards on the play for Brian Malik, and his longest of the day. He stays in the game. Brooks is isolated right, but we're going to run it behind our offensive line, and Julian Randolph, the tight end, with a great block. And just like that, we're at the 2-minute warning. Let's see if we can knock him out, man. It's 7-3, 2 minutes left in the game. If you get the touchdown, the game is basically over. Costanzo up the middle, it's a touchdown! I thought he was dropped at the 3. but he has a second effort, and that's a score. It's 14-3. The Clemson Tigers are down by 2 scores with 1:57 on the clock. This might be our first win against Clemson in 3 years. Kyle Costanzo with the second effort there, and he falls across the plane. What a play by Costanzo. Now isolated receiver right as Wesco trips to the left, and Clemson's got a short dump off, but that's just gonna waste their time away. 1:36 on the clock. Vizina has got some time, and he is gonna throw a 1-on-1, and this should have been an interception. Moses Riggins was right there. Yet another one. I think Vizina is kind of falling apart. 4th and 6. Vizina throws it 1-on-1, and yet another play that should have been a pick. Jeez, what are you guys doing? 4th down. It's a turnover on downs, and we're just gonna run it up their gut with Costanzo. Let's waste their timeouts away. There's only 2 left, and we have got a chance to knock him out now. And Costanzo runs up the middle with nowhere to go. Another timeout taken by Clemson. 1 timeout left. 3rd and 10. Are you going to throw it here? No, we are not. We've got Kyle Costanzo up the middle. It's a 1st down, and that's going to end the game. North Carolina winning in dominant fashion. We had a bunch of sacks on them, and we're going to be winning the ACC championship game here. It's a win for the first time in 3 years in this game. And play of the game, obviously, gotta be Jaden Patterson, the 90 overall safety, lurking over the top there, getting 2 interceptions. And both of them were deep balls where Vizina just did not know that Patterson had such a good range. And I think this was a team effort. Obviously, the offense didn't really get going too much, but we did get 2 touchdowns out of long drives. It was not like we had pick sixes or anything, but again, it's the running game that got us going. We had a few nice catches, but overall, Merdinger had 41 yards passing in this game. This is our offense. Now, Vizina threw it 29 times, and he didn't even have 5 yards per attempt. That is abysmal. On the other hand, the run game for Clemson didn't get going at all. 2.6 and 3.3 a carry. That is not even close to what you want. On the other hand, late in the game, Costanzo really got it going. Got over 100 yards, actually, at the end there, with more than just a couple 10-yard runs. Now, Kyle Costanzo also led the team in receiving yardage because we did not throw it much at all today. Ship only 1 catch, Stoner only 1 catch, Brooks had 2 catches, so not too spectacular there. But on the other hand, for the first time ever, we were able to shut down TJ Moore. So important to keep this receiving game down. TJ Moore has had some field days against us in past games, but not today. He did have 6 catches, but only 30 yards, and that was the leading receiver for this Clemson offense. This win is definitely the defense's work. We shut him down in the second half. We did not allow a single point after the opening drive from Clemson. Actually, that was not the opening drive. That was when they scored 3 points because Costanzo fumbled it and we gave him a short field. So actually, the defense shut him out entirely. If we hadn't had that fumble, it would be 0 points. And look at the sack production. Everybody got in there. Dylan Jerry, Zach Moma, Anthony Dingle, and Stocky, and Starling. Everybody got in on the fun. And congratulations, we won the ACC championship game. And this has got to be just the start. But at least we won something this year, because the last 2 years we had pretty dominant seasons, and then we ended up winning absolutely nothing. Except bowl games, but who cares about bowl games? National Defensive Player of the Week, Connor Stocky, which also means obviously ACC Defensive Player of the Week, with only 1 sack. Interesting. Kyle Costanzo, I mean, how on earth do you give? Well, I mean, it's only ACC Offensive Player of the Week. There was only 1 game in the ACC, so obviously he gets it with 100 rushing yards. But turning back to the defense, how on earth do you not give Jaden Patterson National Defensive Player of the Week, man? He had 2 interceptions in one game. This is all the conference championship games, and we had Penn State lose out against Syracuse. That's kind of a surprise to me. Oregon completely battled down by USC. Nebraska winning the MAC. Texas loses to Texas A&M in the Big 12. Alabama and LSU. Oh man, LSU lost badly. Georgia absolutely dominated Florida. Colorado won against UNLV. Purdue loses to Tennessee, and Michigan beats Ohio State for the Big Ten. Now let's take a quick look at some awards we have this year. You'd obviously get the full list of awards when we're going into the off season. But Heisman Trophy winner is actually Aiden Chiles from USC, and they didn't even win the Pac-12 game. Best defensive player, Connor Stockey. It's actually kind of incredible. The freshman, first season starting, he's not even going to be able to get drafted this year, and he had 16 sacks, which also gets him best defensive end. If he's best defensive player, that makes obviously sense. He's also obviously going to get best defensive lineman of the year for that award. And then we have Kyle Costanzo racking up almost 1,500 yards in 13 games and 23 touchdowns. Best defensive back is Steven Slate with 3 interceptions. I actually can't believe that because Jaden Patterson was just such an impact player at the back end there with his 99 speed. But apparently he didn't collect enough interceptions. Now Ashton Woods wins best linebacker. I kind of skipped over that a little bit too quickly. Lombardi Award is best defensive lineman of the year, so Connor Stockey gets that one as well. We have a very young and growing defense that has absolutely shut out Clemson, who now falls to number 3. Number 2 is now Georgia. And in this playoff race, we're gonna see who wins between Ohio State and South Carolina, because that's gonna be our opponent for the next round. We're gonna be playing in the Peach Bowl, and South Carolina against North Carolina, how awesome would that be? And if we move on to the next round, there is a good chance we might be facing Clemson, who is going to be playing LSU, and the winner is going to get to play USC. So either we face the Heisman winning quarterback from USC, or we are going to face Clemson, or we're going to face a LSU that got absolutely beat down by Bama. But Bama still didn't even make it to the playoff. This is absolutely ridiculous in my eyes. And then on the other half of the brackets, Tennessee and Pittsburgh are going to face off for the Nebraska game, and then Arkansas and Florida face off against each other to play for the Sugar Bowl, which is going to be Georgia then. So this is going to be a very interesting battle here, and I'll see you next game. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more UNC Dynasty. See you in the next episode. Until then, have a great day.